We're live streaming.
We are.
Oh shit!
So don't say anything terribly racist like you usually do.
Yeah, that I count on you.
Don't say the N-word. NASCAR will cut you.
You're listening to Around Comics. 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 You're listening to Around Comics.
From Chicago, this is Around Comics, the comic culture podcast, where we talk about everything in and around the comics, around comics and comics culture. And I already messed it up, and it's
How many
Thursday.
times have you done that?
I have no idea what the date is. We're in quarantine. It's isolation. But we do have a big surprise tonight.
It's already,
I'm your host, Christopher Niesman. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Brian Salazar.
Hey, what's happening?
But the big news is that we're being rejoined by our third brother. He's back. His children have let him go for the evening, and Mr. Tom Caters is joining.
They're asleep. I put them to
They're
sleep.
unconscious.
They're unconscious.
them out.
Yeah, they're unconscious. They fell asleep.
Choked them out.
Yeah, they're out.
Tom?
The light for at least as long as the tranquilizers keep them unconscious.
You look less feral than I thought you would be.
I had to trim my beard so that my face mask properly protected me from coronavirus. My beard was pretty long, and I was like, "This is stupid. I need to
Do you
trim
think
this down."
if you went back in time and you told like 9-year-old Tom, "Hey, one day you're gonna have to trim your beard so that you can put a face mask on to go to Target to buy toilet paper to fight old people for toilet paper," do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think your 9-year-old Tom would have thought about that?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, and it was like also mentioned that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Like, wait, what? Yeah, and you got to be stuck indoors for God knows how long.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
I've decided that
process.
we live in a Howard Chaykin comic now. It's happened.
Did you guys?
Here we are.
I get served so many Instagram ads for face masks now.
It's constant.
It's
face
constant,
masks,
like it's always all the time.
Like tactical vests. I get a lot of tactical vests and like what's the other one?
Here, let's see if I can find one.
Dick
right
pills. A lot of dick pills, but I think that's just my age.
now. Tactical vest.
Yeah, you're coming in a little low, Sal.
I am. Oh, all right.
Low.
Sorry. Here,
You're a little low.
I'll turn myself up a little bit.
There you go.
Ooh.
How's that? Is that better?
Let me see if I can find a mask ad here. It's only a matter of time.
Only the lone.
Oh, yeah, here's one.
All right, you guys keep going for a minute. I'm gonna go. Just keep running with the.
Oh, I can't show it. It
won't show up on the green
It
screen.
looks like I'm holding. It's like I'm miming.
The Millennium Falcon does not
I'm
want to
holding
show.
a phone.
I'll be right back.
So Tom, I miss you, bud. But I'm living life behind the cheddar curtain now for so long. We talked about you as a Wisconsinite. You were a Green Bay native.
Yep.
I am living much closer to the Fib border here in Milwaukee, but I'm getting kind of used to the Wisconsin culture a little bit. It's different. It's amazing how 90 miles from Chicago to Milwaukee, the difference in culture, it's a little mind wrecking. But we're getting used to it a little
The
bit.
Midwest nice. I can use air quotes now.
It's just it's different. I mean, Chicago and Milwaukee, not the same at all.
No,
Like-
it's no.
Like hour and a half away. Is it kind of in? I mean, you're a well-traveled young man. Would you compare the difference between Chicago and Milwaukee as like New York and Philadelphia? Like an hour and a half away, but really different cities, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, I think I'd pick some place. I'm trying to think of a place an hour and a half from New York. It's even farther different.
Like,
I'm thinking like New Haven, Connecticut. like
yeah,
like a very different vibe.
We love Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a wonderful town. Really enjoy it. It's we've had a great experience here. It is not Chicago. And I think about you a lot with this because now you're the Wisconsinite. Now Green Bay, that's a whole different fucking world.
Yeah.
Are we talking about fucking Wisconsin
separate
again?
Yeah, that's two and a half hours from me. I have curled in Appleton though.
Oh. The Fox River Valley, enjoying the I've been to Appleton many times.
Well, it's like Appleton, Oshkosh.
Yeah.
You know, Milwaukee.
Nina Menasha, your twin.
Nina, we have a common friend in Nina, who's a comic creator. It's Brian. Oh God, what's his? He did Deferdine.
Oh God.
Yeah, Deferdine. He did a ghost story. Yeah, ghost or school, a ghost story. That's it. I've been drinking today.
Yeah, a live broadcast of it.
So Brian
Chris struggles to remember.
Brian Deferdine lives in Nina, and he did School, a ghost story, which is a comic that we talked about years and years ago. So he's a Nina guy.
I always assumed he was more of a Menasha man.
Do you ever watch the it's the God, what is it? The Economawalk Minute?
Oh, Manitowoc Minute?
Manitowoc Minute.
Yes.
It's his recipe for a proper Wisconsin old fashioned is fucking spot on.
Yeah. The Saturday Night Live like a couple years ago did a broadcast from Fond du Lac, but they mispronounced Fond du Lac every time.
They didn't call it Fond du Lac?
No, they everyone mispronounced it and it was driving me insane.
How were they saying that?
How did they say
it was like Fond du Lac. But they
put the wrong
stress on the wrong
wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
So it was like I was like, God damn it! You think you'd look up how to say
Fond du Lac.
This weird Wisconsin?
Well, there's enough fucking Second City people that they should know how to play or say fucking Fond du Lac.
You should know how to say Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
God damn
Fond
it.
du Lac. Fond du Lac.
Yeah. But it's weird. So we have this quarantine challenge, my wife and I, that all the restaurants are closed for dine-in here, but they have like curbside pickup, and so every Friday we alternate. Someone has to pick a different fish fry to pick up. So it's my responsibility for the fish fry tomorrow. Heavy responsibility.
Ooh, what are you gonna go with?
I don't know, because I don't know if I want to definitely drive down to Bayview. You know, I don't know if I want to stay in Wauwatosa or if I want to venture into
are we talking about?
South Milwaukee.
Welcome to the Fish Fry podcast.
This reminds me of like Johnny B would do the fish report in the morning. What the fuck is going on here?
Guys, if you guys in Green Bay and you're
the
looking
fish
for
fry
a good
here
fish
is really
fry,
fucking important.
I understand.
Go to Merrick's. That's the best fish fry in Green Bay.
Where?
Merrick's.
Merrick's?
In Milwaukee?
No, in Green Bay.
I'm not driving to fucking Green Bay.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anybody in the audience who happens to be.
I might.
Don't get angry. Don't get angry at me.
I will not go farther
Believe
than
this.
fucking Whitefish Bay for a good fish.
Fried
fry.
fish.
I think they're all overrated. Goddamn fish fries. It's fine. It's fucking fish.
No,
Whatever.
they're pretty outstanding. It's pretty delightful. I would describe the Wisconsin fish fry as delightful.
I think you've been brainwashed.
No,
I think
I
think you don't know what you're talking about. You lost it.
you sir have
You gotta get the fresh caught
night
perch.
at a good supper club.
I have eaten at a good supper club, but yeah, whatever.
What was your dessert drink? Did you have the grasshopper?
No.
It's one of my favorites.
What am I, 90? Who's texting me? Jesus Christ. Sorry if you guys are hearing that, but
That's
my
me
phone-
texting you. Like, oh my god, Chris is drunk.
Get him off of this fish fry talk. Tom's texting me, please, whatever you do, just
Gone crazy.
get him off of the fish fry chat.
He's gone insane.
He's lost his mind.
No, that happened a long time ago.
All right, so are we done with Wisconsin talk? What else we got? What else we got to talk about? Anything else? Other than that, do I have to play? I will if I have to. I will
Let's go to
resort.
listener emails.
Top of the stack.
Oh no.
I will resort to that.
Oh god.
I have a whole soundboard, Tom. I can do all sorts of radio sounds now. This is yeah, we got all sorts of good stuff.
Oh, we're stepping it up, Tom.
Yeah,
I think our live stream is actually working for the first fucking time.
people must have been mad when it didn't work before.
Well, I don't think there was that many people.
There were nobody. No one was like,
really.
Pissed off
I
all
can't
four
believe
people.
these guys.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big a deal, but I think it's actually that's what I ran to grab a beer and check the stream, and at least on my phone it seemed to be okay. So maybe Zoom is the answer. Maybe that's we're doing it on Zoom now as opposed to
What all
Skype.
the kids are using these days.
Yeah, well,
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the live stream of us from a few seconds ago. Looks good.
yeah. It was the big part of it was like the sound. I couldn't get the sound to sync with stuff, but yeah. Oh, what I was going to ask you guys, I don't know if either of you had a chance or an opportunity, but if you get a chance, our friend John Suntress had Howard Chankin on his show. He did like a live Zoom show with Howard, and that's always super entertaining. Howard is just one of those guys that is so smart, like too smart for comics, and super opinionated, and he's he doled out a lot of information in that. If you guys anybody's
I'll have to
interested.
check it out.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'll watch it now.
Right now.
Well, he's
You're
been
gonna see me like looking off to the side, just like
he's been writing comics about this for decades now. So
Yeah,
good.
this is old hat.
yeah. Yeah, it's happening. The world's ending.
Did you guys hear they're making a Tiger King comic?
Oh, of course they are.
Oh God.
It's just a matter of time, right?
I did not enjoy Tiger King.
You
It
didn't?
gave me like I described it as it was like the television version of falling into like a wiki hole where you're just like clicking through things, and then at the end you're like, wait, what? Like, what happened? Like it's just like a constant cascading like series of things. Like
It was like continuing to comment on a really bad Facebook post.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I watched it while I was doing work or other things, but there were moments where I was sort of like,
I mean, it's amazing and horrible all at the same time.
It's a lot of car wrecks. I mean, it's
yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Apparently, there's a precursor to this that's even more horrible. It's this West Virginia, the whites of West Virginia.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Something.
that sounds bad. That sounds like it could go bad.
Yeah.
the times I did enjoy it actually, where I think there's moments in it that I thought were really I quite enjoyed, like anytime the guy who was his campaign manager, like, because I liked him, and I thought the woman who used to live at that Doc Antle's place. Anytime like a real person, like
yeah,
from the
got
real
involved
world,
in it, and you're like, you
like
poor
even
bastard.
like that Walmart guy, it's a little weird, but he at least like seemed grounded, like in some sort of reality.
Like,
you know,
Joe didn't know what the fuck a libertarian was.
Yeah, so
but
it's
it didn't
like
matter.
No.
Anytime, the best episodes are the ones where you could still hear like a person who is somewhat tethered to reality, like discuss it, as opposed to just like lunatics suing each other and like crazy people talking to other crazy people, or like
It was.
I mean, those were the saddest things too, right? Because it was like the mom of the husband who killed himself, or it's like someone who is not part of this like insane world of like big cats,
right.
Like anytime they can like be like, oh yeah, this is crazy, instead of it just being like one insane person talking about another insane person about like suing them about logos and shit, and like all like, which is all like interesting, but it's sort of just like it's like clicking on the hyperlink to like Joe Exotic's governor campaign. Like,
I remember the fucking Daily Show bit on him, and I was just like, I've seen this dude before.
Yeah.
But what's amazing about the whole Tiger King thing, and I think we'll see other stuff, kind of boil up through the whole isolation, the whole COVID-19 thing, is that it's like the perfect horrible thing at the perfect horrible time. Yeah. Is that like 20 years from now, people will be talking about Tiger King because it was this viral thing during this. And
they timed it perfectly.
It was the perfect horrible thing at the perfect horrible time. And I hope that people 20 years from now are talking about this, because that means that things haven't gotten fucking terribly worse.
I mean, personally, I know they say how hard it is to buy just one big cat, but I'm keeping myself to just the one tiger I own, and that's it. I don't need to breed them, like I have a special connection with my tiger.
The best and worst quote I heard was from Donald Trump Jr. when he's like, well, if I knew it was only $2,000 to buy a tiger, I would have jumped right on that. I was like, you are a fuck.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, if I was a rich idiot, I would absolutely, and I'm halfway there. I'm an idiot. I would absolutely buy a tiger or two. I'm sure if I was like, I mean, yeah, come on.
I do, but they're
amazing.
But it's also always interesting because there's always like that scene where it's like the tiger's gonna fuck them up,
Oh, that one
like,
scene.
Those are the best.
And it's like,
you bitch,
you idiot. You own a giant tiger, and you're like, of course it's going to attack you. It's like
it's a goddamn alpha predator.
It's a tiger.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I remember like Mike Tyson with his tigers. He had a couple of tigers, and he had a story about like, he bought them when they were young, and so they were pretty friendly and everything, and he was used to having them, but then they got bigger and bigger.
They're not domesticated animals.
No. Well, yeah.
Well, you share a connection with them.
Yeah.
At some point,
every single person in that documentary thinks they do. They all think they're the one. Yeah, they all think they're the one that's like, these cats, they love me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's,
I have three fucking pit bulls. There's a moment of,
you'd own a tiger. If you could get a tiger, you'd totally have a tiger.
I would not have a tiger.
Well, like a bobcat, right?
Like a lynx, maybe what's the other one? The little feral cat.
No, I ran into a bobcat when I was squirrel hunting one year, and it was not a pleasant experience.
Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say I ran into a bobcat when I was squirrel hunting.
I was squirrel hunting, and I ran into a bobcat.
I get a small. I get like a. I'm like I just googled small big cats.
Why wouldn't you hunt for bobcats? Small big cats.
Small big
because
cats.
squirrels are easier to cook.
Okay, PETA. Don't send your complaints to Christopher Niesman.
Dude, I grew up in the fucking backwoods. We went squirrel hunting.
You grew up in St. Louis.
No, I grew up 2 hours south of St. Louis.
Oh, wow. That's like the fucking back hills of Kentucky. You needed to be
Pretty much.
squirrel hunting. It's
Have
southern
you ever
Illinois.
watched the movie Winter's Bone with
Oh, Jesus. Quit.
Jennifer Lawrence? That's where I grew up.
Uh-huh. All right. What else?
Who's making that comic?
It's the same company that makes like all the biography,
all the
the-
shitty comics.
all the shitty biography comics, like the Obama comic and whatever else.
Well, I'm excited. I
I-
look forward. to
You're
it.
thrilled.
It's a story that demands to be told through the fine medium of comics.
There's going to be a lot. I guess there's talk. I saw something. There was talk about a series about Joe Exotic, or at least a Tiger King series, like a fictional series or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The woman that plays Harley Quinn. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie. Her playing Joe Exotic. I was like, all right, yeah, I can see it. Why not? Put a mustache.
Have you guys watched Bombshell yet? It's one
No.
no?
I did.
No.
I did watch it.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I thought it was really good.
It's been on the list. I mean, between like that and 1917 and Bombshell, and it's like every night at like 11 o'clock. It's like, what do I want to watch until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then try and get up at a regular time.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it kind of makes what's her name out to be a bit heroic in the whole story. Megyn Kelly.
Nuts? Yeah, Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
Which she probably was a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know that much about her, to be honest. But the one thing I will say about, like, what I kept thinking about with that movie was whoever is hiring the hot blondes at Fox News really knows what the fuck they're doing. Because you had a movie with Margot Robbie and I can't even think of the rest of the cast.
Charlize Theron and Nicole Kidman.
And the real life people were hotter than the superstar actresses that played them. You know what I mean? Like Megyn Kelly is more attractive.
Very attractive.
Yeah, it's like insane how attractive these women that they would hire to be these sort of, you know, Republican fantasies. The blonde-haired, long-legged GOP fantasy.
I watched a really good comic book adaptation the other night. I watched The Death of Stalin on Netflix. It's based on a French comic.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. It was quite good. I've not read the French comic.
The Death of Stalin.
The movie is good. It's done by the guy.
Is it a comedy?
It is. I mean, it's by our Armando, and I'm gonna kill his name. The guy who did Veep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he made it. It's dark. I mean, it's extremely dark. There's like funny portions to it.
Death of Stalin on
Netflix. Yes.
And it's a
stars, movie. It stars Steve Buscemi as Nikita Khrushchev.
Oh, you know what?
Really?
I didn't watch it, but I did see that. Is it kind of a comedy? It almost looks like a dark black comedy.
It's very dark.
Is it?
I mean, like any movie that ends with like a execution, like
of a family, of an entire generation,
of like somebody. I won't. It's history, so I mean, you can't really
spoilers.
spoil it. Yeah, but I mean, it's very dark. darker than.
Spoilers: he rules Russia for a while.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch that, and I'm like, this looks really weird, and I had no context for it whatsoever.
It was good.
I will definitely watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done and very interesting. I actually, I thought it was actually better than I thought it was going to be, because I kind of thought, like, because he was the guy who does Veep was doing it, I was like, it'll probably be like a little too jokey,
Right.
but it actually wasn't. It was much. I think because it's based on like a very real thing, it's much more like it's got humorous bits to it, but like I would have a hard time calling it a comedy.
Okay.
In its purest sense, like it's much darker than any of the other
The
stuff.
death of Stalin.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on the list. It's on the list.
On the list, guys.
On the list. That sounds good. I will watch it.
Yeah.
Anybody
Right.
read what? Go ahead.
So I have a subject. It's a comic book subject. I know, shocking.
We're
Had a friend of mine, fellow curler, who says, "Well, I'm in isolation." He's like, "You're the comic book guy," and I'm wanting to read some Batman comics. And I went on Amazon, and I'm ordering stuff up. And he asked me what the best Batman graphic novels were. If I were to suggest three, what are the three Batman graphic novels that you would suggest for someone to read? And we'll assume that they have no comprehension of the character outside of general just zeitgeist.
Okay. And well, I guess my question would be, what? I mean, are they a fan of the movies? Are they?
Assume they have no comprehension of the character outside of general zeitgeist.
They don't know.
So assume that they've maybe seen Batman, the first Chris Nolan movie, maybe one or two other. They're aware of like the 1960s series,
Right?
Just like general, they have like a passing knowledge of the character.
I don't know.
I'm in my room with all my comics, so I'm looking at the shelf.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research, honestly, to answer that in any.
I would just looking at my stuff that I'm looking at.
This is the one I suggested first.
What did you suggest? Okay, you go first.
No, that's wrong.
That is wrong.
I would say
I was looking at my shelf.
Batman
Wait, what did you hold up? I'm sorry. I was looking at my shelf. Would you hold up? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's year one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like that, then there's no point in like going any deeper into Batman. Really, I mean, it's
pretty. It's a great comic story. It really kind of sets up the character. It's got a lot of the mythos of the character. It's well written. It's well drawn. I think it's a classic.
Looking at the things on my shelf, I guess maybe Long Halloween.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a fan.
Yeah.
You kind of get a little bit of
Tim
everything.
Sale.
You don't have to know anything to like. The art is obviously fantastic in it, and it kind of gives you a taste of everything a little bit,
Right?
Like enough to be like, oh, I know that bad guy. If you're kind of familiar with like the Batman mythos.
Yeah. Now I mean we're old and grizzled and
sad.
Bit sad. We're sad old comic book fans. So for the newer comic book fan, would you suggest Hush?
I think you kind of gotta. To me, that's so reliant on the rogues gallery of Batman. I mean,
but isn't it a nice introduction to like all of them?
I guess, but I feel also though that a lot of the twists and turns of that story have no, unless you sort of know like a level of detail. I mean, like people does the average person know about like what's his name, Jason the second?
It's
Todd.
Yeah, like
is that going to mean anything to them?
Yeah, like to me, I mean it's fine. I guess it depends on like if you're the type of person that just rolls with the punches and like reads and it's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like it's cool. It's got like cool art and you get to see all the villains and stuff. But I think some of like the twists and turns of it would get kind of lost on someone who doesn't have like a
Do you think
better knowledge.
do you think Killing Joke lands somewhere in essential reading, or is it something that it's, I mean, is it in, you know, the top 5 things that you should read if you're like want to really understand the character? Or I mean, does that sound stupid? Is Killing Joke essential Batman reading, I guess is what I'm asking.
I don't know if the Batman in that has anything to do with any other Batman. Like that story is so like singular as far as like it actually feels like like the ending, you know, like the ending of that story is so like unlike any other like sort of Batman ending, you know, like
The
it
laughing
feels,
thing.
yeah, it feels more like, I mean, I guess anything that is like well written and has good art would probably be a good place to start, so you can't go wrong, you know, reading it. Like it's got like great creators working on it.
Why do they want to read Batman?
Yeah, what do they want?
What are they trying to get out of it? I mean, it's hard to answer that. You know, like what should I read?
mean, and that's kind of what's fascinating about the character. They're like, yeah, you know, I like the character. I want to know more about it. I've got some time. What are the really important Batman works that I should order and read?
Yeah, I mean, if they want like if they're trying to just like get a comprehensive understanding of the history of the character, you know, that's completely different to me than if they're looking to get up to speed and like read current stuff.
Yeah, I mean those are two different things. It's like, you know, I think he was coming from the standpoint of, you know, I want to really understand the character and what are he was asking what are the best Batman stories, I think is what it came down to.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
You know,
Google it.
Like, would you say like Arkham Asylum?
That's a tough one to throw at somebody, I think. I mean,
it really is.
If it's somebody that doesn't read comics and then all of a sudden you throw them that and it's like, what the, you know,
I did
like,
not suggest Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
I suggested Year One.
There are no Batman books he can read.
None. Just tell him forget it.
Turn around, leave. It's too late.
Here's a YouTube video. It'll explain to you the history of Batman in 12 minutes. You can.
Have you tried Wikipedia?
Shouldn't there be like 2 or 3 like read these and understand the character? It's one of the. I mean, it is.
Well, then Dark Knight Returns has to be in there.
Yeah, DKR. I said DKR. I said Year One and DKR.
You got the beginning and the end. There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Everything in between doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. It's all fucking made up.
Yeah, it's all fiction. It's all bullshit. Make up your own stories. Who gives a shit? Some guy in a costume.
Great fan fiction.
Yeah. What difference does it make?
They're all just made up.
It's all horseshit. It's all just bullshit. I've been reading a lot of Batman lately. Actually, I've been trying to catch up. Well, I wanted to read. I was reading Tom King's run on Batman for a while, and then I stopped right about the wedding when he started the whole thing of him marrying Catwoman. Spoiler alert. But then I've gone back and read it.
The wedding goes off without a hitch.
Yeah. Oh, no, Tom.
Totally smooth. What? No. The greatest of all comic book traditions.
Yes. Weddings.
No wedding ever just happens.
But it is good. He's a different kind of writer. I think it's his pacing is odd to me to some degree. It throws me off a little bit because he writes almost so like every page is a scene. You know what I mean? Like more than anybody else that writes comics, like every single page is its own scene. And it's like that's kind of the pacing of it's, I don't know, someday I'll ask him about it, but it's just interesting to me. But I do like what he does with that character. I think he has a pretty good understanding of that character and the idea of like bringing him forward into, kind of trying to make him a little more relatable to today. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't finished it yet because they're not all available on Hoopla. Mm-hmm. But up to like the last 2 or 3 trades are available, so I'm up to that, like after the wedding and that kind of thing. It's good. I mean, he is a good Batman writer, I think. But I'm the reason I'm doing it is because I'm really interested in what's his name that took over for him, Tyrion something, Tyrion
Lannister.
Tyrion Lannister is now writing Batman. Yes, Tyrion Lannister.
James Tynion?
I think that's it. Yes, I think that's the guy who I think is a really good writer, and I think he's a really good Batman writer. So I'm interested to see what he does with the character. Ooh, my voice just dropped a couple of octaves. I'm like, I have vocal fry. Yes. What else? Anything else? Anything else going on with you guys? Were you guys reading anything?
Guys, I'm just rewatching stuff I've already watched, so I don't have to pay attention to it that much. It's hard to watch prestige television right now because I feel like I don't want to get too wrapped up in anything. Like I just kind of want to like let things just sort of like wash over me without like me becoming too like involved in it. Like I watched The Phantom Menace the other night just because I like wanted like zero. Like I didn't want to.
You wanted nothing challenging.
Nothing. I just wanted to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Drink a glass of wine and watch something that in no way would, if I accidentally fell asleep, I would not care.
You're like my wife, Law and Order SVU.
I'm just like, whatever happens. If
it's like I did something cool. Done.
It's fine. If I fall asleep, I fall asleep. That's just what's going to happen.
I'm good.
If I lie down. My Disney Plus has been getting a workout between watching Toy Story 4 every day. My kids are just obsessed.
Just sneak some Clone Wars in there.
Oh, I'm trying, but
I tried to convince my kids to rewatch all the Star Wars movies from the beginning, but in chronological order, and I can't.
Oh, you can't get them to do it.
Can't. Well, maybe I got a soft commitment, but we'll see.
The last season of Clone Wars is awesome, dude. It's really
I've been
good.
Tearing through television. I finished me and my wife just started watching the last OG Tracy Morgan show, which I had zero expectations for. I thought it would be awful.
It's really funny.
It's really funny. It's really good.
It's really funny.
I was shocked at how good it was, and we tore through like the 4 seasons of it that are on Netflix, and then I went through Pennyworth in like a weekend.
I know.
I just watched like
up with you
2 seasons of Get Shorty on Epix, as you like to call it.
You're just like
you're
just like flying through, just consuming.
Well, kind of like what you're saying. Like I'm doing stuff. I'm working from home, so I'm sitting at the computer and I'm doing stuff, but it's kind of mindless. Like I can do it. Yeah. Most of it is like moving around.
Tom has every episode of Peppa Pig.
I've watched so many Peppa Pigs. So many. I caught my kids insisting that my kids go ready, steady, go instead of ready, set, go. It was a Peppa Pig.
They're already trained.
Yeah, they're putting mail in the post and stuff like.
They're total Anglophiles now. They're like, Daddy.
Daddy Pig.
Can we have some porridge?
It's just, yeah, it's a lot of Peppa Pig. A lot of YouTube influencers for kids. We're watching a lot of just like, they love watching this channel that's this family that plays video games.
Oh.
That is just like makes my head hurt. They love it. I can't get enough of it. So like when I really need them to like be absorbed in something, I put that on. It works.
I do have a comment sort of thing on Instagram. Somebody left us a comment if we want to.
What?
Yeah, it was in regards to our last episode.
How dare
Oh, which one was that?
I had nothing to do with it.
That was the Pennyworth. We talked about Pennyworth, but we also we talked about how I was confused why I didn't understand why publishers aren't going more with direct sales, digital sales to consumers, comic book publishers. And that's what his reply is. It's a gentleman by the name of Stuart Watson. And he said, in answer to why publishers haven't gone to same-day digital, my understanding, mostly by listening to iFanboy.
Oh, dog.
Oh, those fucking
Yeah.
hacks.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Is digital is still a smaller chunk of their market. They are trying to keep local stores and or paper stores alive because that is still a bigger chunk of revenue.
I'm going to say that's all fake.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Obviously fake news.
Fake news. Yeah, if it's from iFanboy, it's definitely fake news. Those fucks.
Fucking
Nasty.
weird.
They make
So
up
nasty.
They make up everything. Those guys are the Fox News of comic book podcasting.
Oh,
except
Fox News, you're
except
giving
they
them
don't
that.
have the sexy
They're
blondes.
they're the fucking Breitbart of comics.
Which one is what was the guy? It was well, we know Josh is like
Josh is kind of like the Chris Wallace.
the Chris
Connor-
Wallace.
Connor is definitely the Hannity, and I would say that Ron is the Roger Ailes of
Wow. Do you
Without
know
a doubt, the
he's
Roger
got some
Ailes.
skeletons in his closet? Wait, what was the other guy that was the press secretary of our current or not
Which
press?
one?
The first guy from Breitbart.
Spicer?
No,
Spicy?
the big ugly looking dude.
Spicer.
Oh, Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
he was-
that's Connor.
That's Connor.
Oh yeah, that's Connor. Absolutely.
Wow, he's gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's I mean, they're still hanging on. They're still hanging on to the comic book stores. I know there's like a fun. There's a hashtag going around. People are donating like commissions and stuff, trying to raise money for stores. And
Tom's like,
No, I just I get it, man. No, we're just everything's fucked up. So it's like
it is.
Who knows what's gonna survive?
comics will be fine.
Yeah, but comic stores.
Comics will be fine.
I mean, honestly, though, I mean, we've known comic book store owners. We've known a few. We've certainly dealt with them over the years.
Love them. They're friends.
Absolutely.
They're wonderful people.
I'm not saying this as a derogatory thing necessarily, but is the time of the comic book store, is it long sort of gone? Isn't it kind of
it's gone. I don't think it's gone. I think that there'll be specialty shops. And I
but
think
they are specialty shops already. How can you be specialty shop of a specialty shop?
Specialty
there
squares.
can be. We're in a specialty of a specialty fucking culture now. We are sitting here talking about fucking comic books, and
Well,
if there are
barely
7,000-8,000 people that listen to us out of 300 million people, then we're doing
Not
great.
that many.
there's none of those people are nowhere near those numbers, Chris. Is that why you're doing?
Sure, millions of people could be watching
until you fucking quit, you goddamn loser.
Well, it had nothing to
millions
do
of
with
people listening to us.
The millions of people. We never had millions of people.
No, seriously, that's the culture we're in, is that if you get a few thousand people that are interested in something, it's and that's the niche marketing of stuff. Yeah, it's going to change. It's going to be weird, but there will always be comic book shops out there. There's going to be
there's record shops again, which
exactly, it's the same goddamn thing. It's Challengers in Chicago, great comic book shop. They have it figured out. They have a community. Market at Dark Tower has it kind of figured out. There's some shops here in Milwaukee. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to open back up after all this shit. It's so I work in the fitness industry. You work in the fitness industry. It's kind of the same thing. There's a lot of businesses out there that are built on community building, and they're probably going to come out of this. There's a lot of gyms that aren't. So
Gold's Gym just announced they're closing like all their I don't know how many Gold Gyms there are anymore, but
yeah.
Just renewed my membership.
Oh no. Damn it.
So
oh no.
And I seriously, I think that's a really important part of today's business structure is building community. And you see it in a lot of businesses. They build community with what they're selling.
How do you do that though if you can't bring a community into your store?
So how long does this go? And that's the rub. It's like, how long does a community, foster something if they're not able to assemble with each other?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's the scary part. But I think that the comic book store.
I'm at the gym, guys.
I think that's my flooring. Looks like 3/4-inch shock block.
Tom's getting his workout in.
But no, I think the comic shops that built a community atmosphere are hopefully going to be able to come out of this. The ones that haven't, that don't rely on that, yeah, I think they're kind of fucked. And shame on them, But if this goes 2-3 more months, I don't know if any of them survive.
Well, I don't know if anyone. I don't know if I survive.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't. Yeah.
What's gonna survive?
At some point we have to. Old boy Donnie is gonna open up the country. He's not gonna let this.
Yeah.
He's not gonna let this slide. He can't let the economy.
Yeah.
Boy, we're reaping what we sowed there, aren't we?
All right,
you gotta hit that big old start button.
It's right next to the red one, the giant red button.
Yeah.
What else? Anything? Let's move on to something else. That subject is just gonna. I know we keep coming back to it because it's ever present, but
sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you guys reading anything else? You are enjoying any? Tom, I know you're not. You're just barely hanging on by your fingernails.
Barely hanging on. Barely surviving.
What is that fucking hat you're wearing?
It's a free hat I got from some production company named Imperial Woodpecker.
Oh, Imperial.
Right here, Tom.
It's a free hat.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bucks.
Sucks.
Go Bucks.
We're gonna win it this year.
Jesus, you are.
They're gonna win it this
year. The most
year.
Notorious bandwagon jumper.
I have been a Bucks fan my entire life.
Always loved them. Yeah.
Everyone knows of Chris's deep passion for the Bucks.
Yeah, the Mecca. I loved it.
Is that their old place? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's where the Admirals play now. We're season ticket holders.
Who are the Admirals?
It's the hockey team of Milwaukee. They're basically the AAA team for the Nashville Predators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who was laughing at that?
I love the sound effects.
All right, that was an.
I like looking at your room, Chris. You got your art hanging up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 8 tons of books to the left of you, like such a heavy shelf.
8 metric tons.
Tons of paper.
There's like an entire rainforest.
Yeah, just thick, dense books.
I had to build a bookcase in a room just to hold my giant hardcover volumes that I had because I kept breaking bookshelves.
Hell yeah.
That's right. That's how I roll, Tom. heavy paper,
hell
baby.
Yeah.
I roll with heavy paper.
Give me 1,000 pages of comics right now. Heavy paper, thick binding.
Thick
glue. Break a shelf. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Let's just destroy some shelves. Some omnibuy.
I couldn't help it. Chris is giving us a tour of his
comic book room.
His comic book room there. That was very nice.
No, it's my office.
This is office. Office.
My office.
Your little comic book
It's the
room.
same thing. Same thing.
So
do you have a separate comic book room?
Comics, my life.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, what did I do?
This is where I switch over to a browser. What is he doing? Where's he going?
The very first comic I ever bought.
Lies and deceit.
First comic I ever bought.
That's the actual one?
This is the actual very first comic I ever bought.
No, but that's the physical copy that you purchased yourself.
First
and you kept it
bought.
For all this time.
Yes.
You're full of shit.
Nobody
your age has their comics from. When did you start buying comics? When you were 35? When did that comic come out?
It was like.
That's a 1978 comic. You were 6 and you held on to it all this time. Fuck you.
Yes.
Bullshit. You're so full of shit.
First comic I ever bought.
Lie. I don't even remember the first comic book I bought. That's not true. I do remember.
You have no soul, sir.
That's not true at all. I have much soul.
This is the only comic that my father ever bought me.
Fucking show and tell. Are we going to have to go into therapy on this episode of Around Comics? On a very special episode of Around Comics? We talk about how your father didn't love you, Chris? Is that what we're getting into
This
here?
is whenever I found out my father loved me. He bought me. So here's the sad story, is that he bought me for Christmas one year X-Men, the all new, all different X-Men number 95. He didn't spend the extra $40 goddamn for X-Men 94.
That cheap bastard.
Mm-hmm. Which would have been worth thousands of fucking dollars. And then here's one of my favorite comics of all time, autographed by Tim Sale and Greg Rucka. This is Queen and Country number 1.
That's awful.
Awful. So anyway, these are the 3 comics I have hanging in my room.
Here's the closest comic I have to me.
What's that, Tom?
My background is here. Let me turn off my background.
Oh, yeah. Get out of the gym, man. You're pumped enough. You're
so
ripped. Legion of Superheroes: The Curse. Have you read the Bendis Legion at all?
I have not gotten to it yet.
It wasn't what I was hoping it would be. No, but I have never been that big of a Legion fan, to be honest. I've always wanted to be a huge Legion fan. I've always wanted to love Legion comic books, but I never really have. I've never really actually loved really any of them. There's something about the Legion that I want it to be, and it never quite is. And I don't know.
You read Legion Lost?
I did read Legion Lost, yes.
That was awesome. I really liked Legion Lost.
But it's not even a Legion.
That's a lot. I've got that loaned out to a curling friend.
That's Tom.
Awesome.
That's your copy. Tom's got your copy right there.
I've got your copy, dude. Look at it.
It's awesome. I love that book.
Touching all the pages.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Legion. I did like that's the Lanning, Abnett and Lanning,
Abnett Lanning,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Legion cartoon?
No, I don't think I did.
It's quite good. Maybe you should give that a watch.
Is that on DC?
Yeah, I think
universe. So. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's
What are your favorite Legion stories? Like what if you were gonna point me to like one or two awesome Legion stories that'll hook me, and make me a Legionnaire, to give me Legionnaire's disease.
Is that kind of the thing? Is that, I mean, Legion was so good, but they never had a Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like the Great
Right?
Darkness saga, but that one, even that in and of itself is like not necessarily. I don't know if there's one that I'd be like, this is like the definitive
Legion.
I think like what it did a really good job of was there was like such a good version of like a Bronze Age soap opera for so long that like that just like when you do read, I think I have the Great Darkness saga around here somewhere. I've been looking at it.
It's one of the greatest presents I ever got. Was Tom Caters gave me literally a grocery bag of
old Legion comics.
Oh, that's so sweet.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
That's a good one to go with. But it's tough because I think like the charm of the Legion is like the fact that it kind of doesn't have that, right? It's like just like this huge, long, big, like sort of unwieldy thing, right? Where like part of the fun of it is like the fact that there's all these weird characters that like show up for like 3 issues and then disappear and then show up again like 10 years later if someone's like, oh yeah, we should use the
bouncing boy
character, the kid whose arm falls off all the time, like there's just like this weird mess of characters that kind of gets like regurgitated.
I love the whole triplicate girl.
Oh, yeah. And one of them dies, and then she's a duo.
I think
what do you do now?
I always wanted Legion to be kind of like top 10. You know,
the Alan Moore, Gene Ha, Vander series.
Like I wanted it to be more like that, and it never quite is that. Like I had a hard time ever connecting to any of those characters because I think partly because like there's always so much going on in those books. There's so many characters and so many kind of storylines. And it's in space, which I kind of hate, honestly, stories in space.
Why do you hate space, Sal?
I don't know. I think
I think can see that a little bit of like, well, I think there's always been a thing with Marvel and DC that like the space comics are like their own like realm, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's over there in that place, and it's like I don't read those. Like I read these ones, right? And
that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just personal preference. I'm not critiquing it from a standpoint of whether it's good or bad. It's just my personal preference. I tend, I mean, it's not just comics. It's also like movies and stuff. Like when stuff is set in space, there's an automatic like it's so much more about space. You know what I mean? The stories, it has to sort of revolve. I think the best stories that are set in a sci-fi space setting have very little to do with the fact that they're set in a sci-fi space setting. You know what I mean? Just from my preference.
I also think that maybe some of the old Legion comics also kind of they fall victim to like there's sort of a goofiness to the space aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I think like there's a
almost like pack stuff in too, like different languages and different aliens and this kind of food and
like, there's a lot of stuff going on within them.
Yeah,
I think like the way to, at least like the way I've always thought of it is like with those type of books, it's almost like you have to find like the character that you like the most, and then like you're sort of invested in that character, and then maybe you care about the other ones because they interact with that character, or like you find that character's story interesting. Because even, you know, in comparison to like, you know, I kind of think of them in the same way as like they're like an even more unwieldy X-Men sort of in a way.
Yeah.
Like any given moment, there's like 30 of them.
In the
like,
80s, when we were growing up and reading comics, you were an X-Men fan or you were a Legion or Titans fan, right?
Or you were an idiot. No.
Or a dumbass.
So I was an X-Men fan. Sal was probably an X-Men fan.
Oh, for sure.
And Tom, you were probably a Titans fan.
I don't know. I read all of those.
Yeah, I read Titans, I read Legion, I read X-Men, I read it all. I was never like, if it was good, it was good.
You were never pigeonholed.
Yeah, I never was like a Marvel zombie or only read DC or, you know.
I've read X-Men more than I read Titans. I mean, I was aware of Titans, but that wasn't my book. My book was X-Men.
Well, there's definitely a totally different tone with something like Titans as opposed to X-Men. X-Men was the, you know, soap opera-ish.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, it was about civil rights, it was about injustice, that kind of thing, where Titans was, I don't know, it had a different feel, a different tone to it, where it was more like
and then
teen
Legion
angst.
was completely different from all of them. I mean, Legion was cosmic. It was the cosmic soap opera.
Yeah, because Legion, you could do whatever you wanted. You didn't have to worry about it.
I think the problem with Legion is like, everybody looks at the origin of the Legion in Superman or Superboy. Is it Superboy, right? Superboy.
Yeah.
And it's like this dumb idea, hey, we're going to take some teenagers from the future and send them back in time and get Superman and bring him back to the future because we need to write a comic this month.
That's an awesome story.
It's a great story, but is it a great idea then to go, well, this is what the Legion is, and forever we kind of have to be this thing of these teenagers from different planets that band together for some reason.
Reinvented is because it's in the future.
But it's always that same core idea that goes back to that one story that they wrote, really not trying to create a new group of heroes. It was just like, hey, here's an idea. We'll get 3 teenagers from the future and send them back in time, and they'll fuck with Superman.
Aspect gets played up or down depending on how much, you know, like how much the whatever creative.
No.
By the time you get into the Bronze Age, like they're in that weird like X-Men age thing where like, wait, how old are any of these people?
Right,
like they're just like they're amorphous.
They're all
like,
sitcom teenagers.
Yeah, they're all just like amorphously some age.
Yeah,
that's not old but not like young anymore, and like within that
they're like CW actors.
I always kind of go nuts.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Yeah. Wait, that's a high school girl? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
That dude's shaving. It always drives me nuts whenever people reference Cyclops, Scott Summers, they call him Slim. It's like, the dude is 215 pounds of muscle. Nobody, if you saw that guy walking around, nobody would call him Slim.
Look at this skinny nerd.
Yeah. He's like 6'2", a super athlete.
David Price will fight you over this.
Yeah, look at this dork.
Well, I'll win that fight easy. It's not much of a fight.
You should try watching the Legion cartoon, though, because they do a good job of simplifying it a little bit, but still I think maintaining like a lot of like the. It starts off with like a very small cast, and then
Yeah, I
like
think
they
that's part of
slowly,
it, man. Like when it gets, like you said,
yeah,
30 fucking Legionnaires pop into a book, it's like, all right.
yeah.
I had the
And
same
then,
problem.
I mean, isn't that what happened to the X-Men? You know, like Grant and Morrison era, where it was just like, okay, there's like 8,000 fucking mutants. I can't keep them straight anymore.
it's the cycle.
It was
Everyone's
before
like,
that.
let's simplify it, and then someone's like, let's make it bigger, and then the next person's like, let's simplify it and
Yeah,
keep it.
There's like
lesser.
900 in the books now. I mean, it's like every mutant that's alive is in the books now. It's pretty good though. I actually like the X-Men stuff that Hickman did, the House of M, Powers of M.
Oh yeah, I like that stuff too.
I thought that was pretty good.
I like it's really funny, right? Like the way my favorite X-Men things, you know, like I still love the Grant Morrison X-Men stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Hickman stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny how it's almost like X-Men occasionally becomes so unwieldy that you actually do get to do something super interesting, because it's just like this huge wave of white noise. There's just so much.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I'll just do whatever, because like literally
there's no
so
rules.
much of it. It's like, whatever, I don't know. Like, we'll do this. That like
Grant Morrison was like, let's drop a fucking grenade in this impulse.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and I really enjoy. Yeah, I like the Hickman stuff too. As I admire like well, let's just totally just do something completely different, and like for some reason X-Men occasionally allows you to do that, where it's like, I don't know if it's weird, right? Because they're one of those like properties that people are drawn to and have been drawn to for years, and like people have their sort of like definitive ideas of what the X-Men are, but I actually sort of enjoy the stories where it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna change everything, just flip it all around, doesn't matter, now it's this, you know. Like I'm drawn more to those stories than I think like your standard X-Men stories.
Yeah, and those definitely, as I've gotten older and older, like I just want the weirder stuff. I just want the more out of the norm kind of stories now. I don't want I've read enough of this kind of like regular, do something different, do something, you know, and I understand, like I don't blame comic book publishers for not doing that all the time, but I do appreciate when it gets done. You know, it's like we were talking about Batman. Like one of my favorite Batman stories is the Batman, what was it, 2000? Batman 100? Whatever the hell. What was the one with... who's that crazy artist?
Paul Pope?
Yeah, Paul Pope.
Oh.
Yeah. That Batman 100? Was that what it was? Or what the
Batman Year 100?
Something like that. Yeah. That, like, something like that was... There it is. Beautiful. Awesome book. I mean, it's just weird and different and completely out of the norm, but still, you know, completely, like, I think true to the character too.
Smart, different to the character, Elseworlds, but fit in what you think the canon of the character would be. Yeah, and you give that to someone like Paul Pope. I mean, you don't give that to people who aren't
talented,
capable,
extremely talented.
You know, and it happens all the time. But I mean, Paul Pope is, he's a special talent, right?
He's a special kind of guy.
He's a special guy.
What the hell was I going to say now? Oh, I got invited onto another podcast.
What?
Don't
do it.
No. It's just a one-time.
No,
they
that's how they rope you in, man.
No, I will not be roped in.
4 years of fucking 11 o'clock, man. I'm warning you.
You don't have fond memories of that time, Chris? What?
I loved my time there.
Loved
it.
But they want me to pick like one single issue of a comic that means something to me to then talk about.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to figure out. I think it's going to be Daredevil. And I'm not sure what issue, but it's going to be one of the Frank Miller Daredevil era issues. Maybe I'm thinking 181, which is the double-sized issue where Bullseye kills Elektra, and then Daredevil and Bullseye.
181.
Yeah. It's like the culmination of the Kingpin Elektra storyline. So,
Tom, what's your one issue that you could be like a comic that kind of changed the way I look at comics, or one that, you know, I'm just like, yeah, I know every page and every panel, blah blah blah.
I guess I would think of it as like one that I would have something interesting to say about, or like I'd probably pick there's the All-Star Superman issue, the one where it's all about like he creates like the smaller, like the alternate universe where they also invent Superman within that universe. Like, I forget which issue it was, but it's like all about like Superman's doing all this, like all these things to like as his like final acts before he like knows he's gonna die. I forget which issue it was, but it's like I always think about the issue when I think about like I could probably read that one like 1,000 times and still enjoy it as much as I did like the first time I read it. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
I had thought about it. It was I was thinking like All-Star Superman. I really love those.
This is that comic, that issue changed everything for me.
Alien Legion. Survival of the fittest. What
Alien Legion, the first issue of Alien Legion, it changed the way I thought about design.
That's a terrible choice, Chris. It's awful.
It changed it. I mean, it was the first comic that was really like political that I read, that was really designed really well. So it had an aesthetic that I really fell in love with. There were complex characters that were not good that you rooted. Legion #1 changed the way that I looked at comics, and I was probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years old, and that comic, right along with probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's a good
Probably changed the way I looked at comics and formed the way I looked at comics for the rest of my life.
I was thinking about that with like Chankin's American Flag, because I've talked about that multiple times.
I was probably too young for Flag when it came out. I didn't jump onto Flag until later, and now I can look back on its brilliance, but I wasn't there consuming it as it came out.
The only reason I didn't pick that is, one, I've talked about it ad nauseum, but
it's brilliant.
It is, but I also couldn't pick like one issue out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's a cohesive story, so it's like I didn't want to just pick issue #1, because I don't even know if I started reading it at issue #1 the first time I read it. I don't think I did. Mm-hmm. I think I happened to find it somewhere, like issue #8 or something. But yeah, then I was thinking, what you call it, Darwin Cook, something from New Frontier, but
it's right behind Tom.
Same thing. Like I couldn't quite pick one issue out of there that.
All right, I'm gonna one up you, Tom.
Oh boy,
God. I didn't realize it's competition.
Yeah,
it is. It's always a competition.
Chris is very competitive. What's he doing? He's showing his sketched version.
That's great.
He's dead. He's dead now.
He is. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, but I went back to Daredevil, because that was really like the Frank Miller run on Daredevil.
You've always been a Daredevil guy.
I have.
I mean, always.
Yeah, that was probably the first comic that I ever really read. It was Daredevil and Captain America. Those were the two comics that I collected. I read. I got every issue.
I mean, when we talked to Gene Colan, you were just like, you wanted to talk to him about Daredevil.
Yeah, it's always been. I mean, I still have not the entire run of Daredevil, but I have a good chunk of. It's one of those things like I keep thinking I should go back and try and fill that in, but the really early ones are so expensive.
Have like one?
No, I don't. I have some early ones. I don't have one. I think I have. I don't remember which ones I have. 3, 4, 6, 8, and then like 15 through 35, and then like everything else up until the Bendis run.
All the Miller stuff.
Yeah, I still have all that.
I mean, for modern comics, is there a more important run of comics than Frank Miller's Daredevil run?
Well, and I don't want to talk about it too much on, because I'm going to talk about it on that other podcast, but that's why I came down to it, because that issue specifically for me too, there's a lot of stuff in there that you can see then in Dark Knight Returns. You know what I mean? Like you can
absolutely. All the seeds are there.
Yeah, and so I think it changed so much. And people don't talk about that as nearly as much, obviously, as Dark Knight Returns, as being like this game changer.
I think when Bendis did his run on Daredevil, that was a big love letter to Miller, and rightfully so. I mean, that was Miller's run on Daredevil. I mean, it's one of the most important runs on comics in the modern age. It set up the modern age for the, anyone that writes a comic that can be viewed as like an ongoing dramatic TV series. You look at that Miller run, and that was, I mean, that's a template for like a 5-year series.
And it's pretty much everything that character became. I mean, it's what he still is.
Before that, he was a B-list fucking fighting stilt man before then.
Hey, now
don't rag on stilt man.
What?
Don't rag on stilt man.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
No, just show respect. Every character is somebody's favorite character.
That's right.
as Matt Fraction told us.
Yeah, someone loves stilt man.
But I agree with you. I don't think it gets quite the attention, or people talk about it as much about Frank Miller's work. But yeah, to me, it's up there with anything that he's done. Brilliantly. Anything is the best stuff that's been
what's
done.
Neat about Miller is that Kirby was always Kirby, right?
Was he?
Or was he?
Kirby was always Kirby.
Actually, he was Jack Kurtzman, wasn't he?
A little bit.
Jacob Kurtzman.
But you look at Frank Miller's work from when he, came in with like Spider-Man and Daredevil, and then where he went with DKR and then 300. He's one of those artists that his style changed so much over the arc of his career, but was still successful, right?
I don't know that it did, honestly. I don't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 300's wildly different than his.
Yeah, but you saw
on Daredevil.
But you saw seeds of that. I mean,
seeds, but it changed. I mean, dramatically.
I think you think that because he changed his style for the stories that he was doing. Because if you look at the difference between like 300 and Ronin,
yeah,
totally different types of stuff. But both of those styles can be seen in Daredevil, and both of those styles can be seen in Dark Knight Returns. I mean, if you look at Dark Knight Returns, how many different styles of art did he use in that? You know what I mean? So I think...
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, and that's what I'm saying, is that he had a huge palette that he worked from.
Yeah, I just think he was able to... He never I don't think he was one of those guys that cared about like this is the Frank Miller style. Because even if you look at his Daredevil stuff and his Dark Knight stuff, and then you look at Sin City, very different stuff. He was working. He was a true artist,
and
like,
at the same
evolving
time,
and changing.
he's writing that stuff.
Well, that's what I was gonna mention that about the Daredevil too. Is like it's such an interesting story because, you know, he started as just the artist and then basically fought because he was like he had a vision for where the character could go, and the writer, I can't remember who the writer was at the time.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
But he was like, I want to write and draw.
I'm gonna say it's Roy Thomas.
What? I don't.
Maybe Stan. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. But yeah, and you know, like he was kind of really one of those first guys, you know, to do that kind of thing at that time, and yeah,
Roger McKenzie.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big name. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Roger McKenzie.
He has his own ideas. Damn it.
And I think his style really depends on the inker that he's working with too. I think he gives a lot of leeway to his inkers. Obviously, Klaus,
David Michelin, and Mike W. Barr.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Awesome stuff. I think that's what I'm going to do. That issue, I there's a lot I can say about
181.
Yeah.
What is it about that number?
I don't know. What is
it's a good number, I guess.
It's a magic number. Is it a magic number?
First appearance of Wolverine.
Oh, there you go. 181.
181.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Hulk, number 181. First appearance of Wolverine.
It's just coincidence.
No, it's not. It's part of the
master plan.
The master plan. The Illuminati planned it.
The Illuminati are running comics. Right. They're not doing a very good job.
Gentlemen, I have to leave.
We love you, Tom.
All right, Thomas.
I love you too. Sorry.
Fun as always, sir.
I hear footsteps running around.
All right.
It's like a murderer in your house. There's footsteps. I hear footsteps.
I hear footsteps. I hear the pitter-patter of angry feet.
All right. Be good, bud.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, Tom.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, God. He's falling into the volcano. It's just us. Now it's just us.
Here we are again.
It's us again.
I get to argue with you about everything you've been wrong about tonight.
Oh, for God's sake, man. I'm never wrong. What are you talking about? You're out of your mind. What was I wrong about? What do you,
Nothing. No, I love your love of Daredevil. You know, isn't that one of the great things about this hobby and medium is that, I mean, there are people that loved, you know, back in the day, you loved a comic. That was what you read. And, you know, there were people who were Daredevil fans and Legion fans and Titans and X-Men. And that was the comic that you read.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was definitely, for me, it was definitely Daredevil and then Captain America. And then from Cap, I was an Invaders fan, and I never was like a group book guy. Obviously, I got into the X-Men. I mean, I think everybody was reading the X-Men at that time, but I was never a big
the Roger Stern, John Byrne X-Men, or not Captain America. I mean, that was, you had to read that. That was, you know, that was one of those that, you know, everyone was reading.
I'm trying to remember when I got into Cap. I honestly don't. There was a long period of time where like I was buying Captain America. I got
into Cap whenever Captain Britain guest starred.
Geez, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And that was back in the day when like Marvel 2-in-1, which was a great marketing ploy, is that there would be a character that you would love, and they would team up with another character. What a great marketing idea. You know, it was, which 2-in-1 was mostly the Thing, right? Who's, you know, mostly been forgotten in modern comics. But I mean, that was the point when like Ben Grimm was a major character in comics.
Oh, for sure. Well, the Fantastic Four was the flagship. You know, still, I think, you know, at that point it was the flagship book. But
Marvel 2-in-1 was, you know, it was Marvel Team Up, which was the Spider-Man team up, and then Marvel 2-in-1 was the Thing, and it was his team up. Which, speaking of, I ordered the second volume of Immortal Hulk today.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it'll arrive sometime in mid-May. Because
sorry, I was reading something. I apologize.
Oh, what'd you read?
No. There was something that caught my attention on. I'm trying to do too many things here, so I'm still like trying to pay attention to the live feed and seeing if it's actually I don't know. It's driving me insane, like the sound sync issues that we have, or like it drives me.
Are we good?
I don't know. I can't tell because I can't really listen to it at the same time. You know what I mean?
Shall I hum a few bars?
No, please don't. No, it's like impossible for me to. Well, here, don't say anything, and let me check it. Hold on. It's not too far off, but it is off. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what to do anymore. It was fine. It was perfect when we started, I think. And then it like degrades.
Is it telling us not to record more than an hour and a half?
It could be. It's possible. I don't know. Or it could be like my kids are online using the I'm wondering if it's like my computer, if it's sort of...
They're on the Twitch.
But like everything that it's telling me is that it's running perfect. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. So what are we doing the next week? Are we gonna? We're continuing isolation, rehab. What are we gonna call this? Around comics. Therapy.
Pandemic.
I enjoy it. It is therapy for me.
Pandemic relief.
Yeah, I mean, Marta's like, what, again? And I was like, yeah, we have to serve the people.
The people want more.
Yeah. Thing is, I had like a 2-hour curling meeting before this when we were drinking, so I've been wasted the entire episode.
You know, you can talk to people without drinking. That is possible.
That is not going to happen.
It's definitely possible. It can happen.
Not going to happen.
All right. Well,
but I did yoga for like a good hour before that first meeting, so I got all stretched out, and then I started drinking, and then we had this, and so yeah. I figure I'm at zero
what
on what the plus minus scale
of what plus minus
of life being good,
just life in general,
just life.
So the yoga counteracts the beer.
Yeah.
Is that your thinking? I did kettlebell workout today.
Yeah.
Those
are terrible.
You know, not that bad. Not that bad. It's better than running. I hate running.
Running's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst thing
I'll
ever.
swap the dog.
Well, that's not really getting you I need the cardio. I don't know. The calorie burn. I gotta burn calories. I like to eat
same calories on distance traveled.
Yeah, but I don't want to do like 4-hour walk with my dog as opposed
that sounds
to
amazing.
A 30-minute run.
That sounds amazing.
But I don't really have
hate
time.
Your dog.
I just don't have 4 hours in the day when it's 35
since
degrees.
when?
since always. I got shit to do.
You fuck.
I got to do this
No,
shit.
Liar.
Listen, somebody has to edit these fucking
Watching Lion
podcasts.
King.
Lion
or
King.
Tiger, whatever.
Tiger King.
Be walking your dog. You
Yeah.
heartless bastard.
Well, they got legs. They can walk themselves.
All right, so so I haven't brought this up.
Oh.
I had the last book of the month ish, and we talked about my book,
Yeah.
Bird. You need to come up with something for us to fucking read.
I did.
What?
Paper Girls.
But that's what, Paper Girls Volume 1?
Yeah.
Why don't
Do you want me to pick something else? Oh, well, I can pick something else if you
Are we
didn't...
talking the entire series?
Well, I'm not going to make Tom read the entire series.
You have to read the entire series of Paper Girl. No, just, I mean, something that, a trade paperback that someone can order.
All right. For someone. Who's someone? You.
Anyone. The
public.
The myriad of people that listen to the show, Sal.
Well, Jesus Christ. They can order whatever. All right, let me look. Here, I'll look.
All right. And it's not Immortal Hulk Volume 2.
Well.
But I did just order that.
Could be that.
And I am looking forward to talking about it with you.
Let's see. Well, I'll have to go back and read it.
There was a nice little announcement. Panel Syndicate, who
I did see that. Yeah,
Private Eye with Brian K. Vaughan and Marcos Martin. They announced they're releasing a series. This is Thursday, so tomorrow they're releasing the Ed Brubaker Marcos Martin series.
Is it Marcos Martin?
Huh?
It's with Marcos Martin.
Yes, and Ed Brubaker.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about it. It was like it's called Fridays or something like that, or Friday.
Yes, and it looks well. I mean, it's Marcos, and then you throw Ed Brubaker in there, and that's peanut butter and jelly. So
peanut butter and jelly. Over it. How about Coffin Bound Volume 1?
Ooh, I've been reading that, and it's...
Well, goddamn, you're reading everything. I can't pick anything that you haven't been reading.
I'm down with that. I think I got the first 4 issues. Have you been reading it?
I want something fresh. I will
go back and read it. No, let's do Coffin Bound.
All right. Fine. If you're okay with it, I guess it's my pick, but hey, if you like it,
you said it, and I said that's fine. I will. Yes, I have read a couple issues of Coffin Bound. I'm sorry, it's not fucking brand new for you.
Goddamn, Mister. I read everything.
I still need to find Deathlock. Is it Deathlock?
Deathlock. What the hell are you talking about?
No, it's what's the robot series that you were talking about?
Killlock.
Yeah.
Find it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not over. It's not in. I don't think it's out in trade yet.
I know. I gotta dig for it. I cannot go to my comic shop and buy it.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So Coffin Bound.
Sure. Coffin Bound Volume 1.
Yeah, it's fun. It's. I think we'll enjoy talking about it.
I hope so. It looked good. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but it's on Hoopla.
Yeah, it's got some Rizzo going on, which is why I picked it out.
Cool, I like that.
Yeah,
I'm a big
it's got
fan.
some serious Eduardo Rizzo vibe.
Where's that guy at? I see him post stuff on like Instagram, but I don't. Is he working at all? Like
he must be doing other stuff. I hope so. So if you look over my shoulder.
Oh Jesus! Here is show and tell again.
This shoulder.
I don't. Okay.
That shoulder. That's a 100 bullets page right there.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's the best.
I read it. I read that.
You made fun of me because it's got a Nazi in it, and you're like,
you made
fun of me about it.
Well,
called me a
If
Nazi.
you want to hang Nazis on your wall, that's your choice, I
See?
suppose.
Here we go.
I mean, not what I would do necessarily, but
Mm-hmm.
if that's how you feel you want to
Is
represent.
that your
yourself?
Steve Dillon preacher page over your shoulder?
It is, yes, over that shoulder there.
That shoulder? That's an
That's-
awesome page.
Yeah, you tried to
I want
buy
you
it.
to will that to me.
No, that's not going to happen. Besides, I'm going to outlive you the way you drink. Ha! and all you do is yoga and curl. You're a dead man by 67.
Hey. But I'm easy going. You're high strung.
I have yeah, that's signed by him too. I got that signed by him at a convention. He and drank with him.
It's awesome. You got me something.
That's one of my biggest regrets from regrets.
Your biggest regrets?
Well, I did that was at Cherry Capital Con. Is that a signed Guinness?
That is a signed bottle of Guinness from Steve Dillon.
See?
With a Punisher.
I'm a good friend.
You are a great
See?
friend. This I hold
I'm looking
to this
around.
day.
I'm trying to see anything you gave me hanging on the wall, signed by anybody. Huh? Nothing.
Here's
no.
one. You remember this one?
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember that whole night barely. Barely. He's all cleaned up now, though. He's right.
Yeah.
Isn't he sober?
Yeah,
He's no
sober
fun.
now.
He's no fun anymore. At that convention at that Cherry Capital Con, they asked me to moderate. I don't have one of those. Where's mine? Signed by.
This is from James Syme at Isotope Comics in San Francisco.
I know.
This was from the Darwin Cook signing.
What else are you rubbing
for,
in my face that you
for
have?
New
Are you?
Frontier.
Is this just show and tell what Chris has in his office? All of Chris's.
Hey man, my office is like the fancy shop.
This
I
is
got all sorts of shit.
thrilling. Anyway, now about me.
No, it's all about you.
No, I was saying I moderated a panel with Steve Dillon and what's his name? He wrote Deadpool for a while.
Carrie? No.
No, fuck. What is his name? God damn it. Anyway, I moderated a panel. They asked me to moderate a panel. I'm like, yes, I'd be happy to moderate a panel with Steve Dillon. And it was
awesome.
It was awesome and it went great. And I thought they were filming it. They said they were going to film it, so I didn't record it. And then they're like, they never gave me the footage. I never saw the footage. I don't know if they didn't film it, but I didn't record it.
Away.
Yeah, and he died not too terribly long after that. And I'm just like, fuck. It was a really fun panel too. Like he actually came up to me afterwards. He's like, that was one of the most fun panels I've ever been on. And I was just like, fuck yeah. And then we had a couple of drinks. We kind of became friendly that weekend. It's kind of natural. You're especially at a show like that. It's a small show, and so it's like you're hanging out with everybody that's at the show the whole weekend.
That's fucking Steve Dillon.
He was a very nice guy, very quiet guy. I mean, he was a really quiet guy and super nice, super friendly, and just like you could tell he had a good sense of humor and just he was a good dude.
What a
Glad
talent!
I met him.
I mean, what a talent
for sure. Preacher's one of those books,
Oh, and his Punisher stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Welcome Back, Frank is still one that I'll go back to and just read if I'm just like, yep, you know what? I'm just gonna read this because it's awesome, and I know it's a quick, awesome story, and it's ridiculous and horrible and has that dark comedic sensibility to it, and I think it's one of those books, and he and Ennis shared this where it was as much about the art as it was about the writer, and it's so rare that you see that in comics where where the feel and the vibe of a comic is just as much about the artist as it is about the writer. I think we saw that with like The Authority with Frank Quietly and Miller. They had that kind of,
you have guys that
coexisting.
just are so well versed at working with one another. I think they probably have a great shorthand, and they're able to just vibe off of each other. And anything Dillon and Ennis did, it was like that was an instant buy for me. Instant buy. Those two guys, yep, whatever it is, I'll take it.
And I love Ennis, but everything that he's done post that doesn't have the same magic. I mean, there's good. I've been reading Sarah, his TKO series, which is, I think kind of a spiritual ancestor to the Night Witches that he did for IDW.
Yeah,
it's a women's Russian military story, and it's good, but man, there's nothing like him working with Steve Dillon. Just nothing like it.
There was something about Dillon's artwork that was realistic enough, but also cartoony enough.
Yeah.
Where Ennis's like most perverted, ridiculous, fucked up shit that he would write.
Yeah.
He could just draw it perfectly. It worked, you know what I mean? Because it was just like not quite too real. Like it wasn't hyper realistic. It was cartoony, but it was realistic enough, but not too realistic. It was just, it worked perfectly.
Yeah, it was unique.
Yeah, it had its own universe. I mean, those guys kind of created their own universe.
Yeah.
It was
I look at he and Quietly as being very similar.
Yeah, Quietly's another guy. Anything he draws, I'll buy.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Ennis and Dillon. I look at very similar to Miller and Quietly. They had that kind of just over the top, weird but grounded. It's almost impossible to describe it, but I look at those two teams as being really similar to each other.
Yeah,
and they had that same vibe, and you can't recreate that. It's something that's magic about comics.
Do you think there's anyone today that's got that happening? That there's not that many team
I think like Kirkman and Burnham have tried to create that.
I like Burnham with Morrison. They had a pretty good run of stuff that they were doing, and Burnham's stuff I feel like it fits.
I think Hard Boiled in its own little way, even though I would say that the difference with Hard Boiled is that was probably more Darrow than it was Miller, and so it was probably a little bit more art focused. Do what?
That's 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, off the top of my head.
I meant, is there anybody working today?
Oh, today?
Yeah,
God.
That kind of has that.
There's a few artists that I would like to see that do that. Was it Stocco? The guy that did was it Orc? Oh God,
Orc Smash or Orc? No, I'm thinking Headlopper. I think
Stocco.
I think if you look at like Brubaker and
Brubaker and Phillips,
yeah,
sure,
they're
but they've been doing that.
They've been doing that for a while. I was gonna bring up
I like Rucka and Lark with what they've done with Lazarus.
Yeah,
is that seems very incredibly collaborative.
I like what Snyder and Capullo did on Batman. I thought they had
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't put it in the same class, of like Ennis and Dillon, but I think they definitely had a really good working relationship. I think Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman, I think right now are kind of a duo. They do, they've been doing that Venom stuff for quite a while now, and I think they sort of are building that thing. I'm not a I like
Azzarello, Rizzo. For
yeah, sure.
like fucking 15 years,
Sure.
anything they do is fucking peanut butter and jelly.
It's interesting when you find those, partnerships.
Yeah.
And they really kind of allow each other, to work together, as opposed to like, I'm sure there's just sort of egos involved with any of it.
We haven't seen the super team. I mean, like an original super team would be like Claremont, Byrne, and Austin, right?
Yeah, sure. I would.
That would be a. Super
I mean, the original super team is probably like Kirby and Simon. Like that's
Kirby Simon.
That's the original, but yeah, I
Stan Kirby and anyone but Vince Coletta.
Poor Vince Coletta. Old Vince Coletta. Somebody needs to
Vince.
Write a book, like illustrating. Maybe it exists. It might already be out there. I don't know. But like, I know mostly because of Vince, or I mean David Price, how much he hates Vince Coletta.
And his hatred of Vince Coletta.
And that's like the only reference. Like I don't think that I could look at a Kirby page and go, oh, that's Coletta, and know.
Oh God, talk to Andy Parks.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not arguing it. I'm not. But I kind of wish somebody would like lay out.
Who's the
visually
anchor that everyone loves on Kirby? Is it Sennett? Is it Joe Sennett?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't. There's stuff like that I don't quite ever. I've never quite understood and never been a part of. Like that kind of thing. I've never been wrapped up too much in what everybody else is sort of thinking about something. You know what I mean? Like I just never found myself in lockstep with many of those things where it's like, oh, everybody,
Yeah.
I mean, Vince Coletta, that
you start talking Kirby stuff, I mean, it's like Babe Ruth, in baseball.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I mean, I guess that's just it. I mean, I don't really care.
It's historical, backtracking of stuff. And the thing with Kirby is that, I mean, that dude was putting out, a page and a half a day plus a cover. I mean, he was producing like 1,000 pages a year.
Yeah, right.
So he was doing what, like 2.5 pages a day. I mean, you're never ever going to see that again. It's like, and I think the baseball analogy is interesting. It's like you're never going to see a Kirby again. You're never going to see a Cy Young. No one's ever going to win 515 fucking baseball games, in their career again. It's otherworldly. It's never ever going to happen again. And so you just appreciate it for the era that it was. But I think it is interesting as kind of a touchstone of, what superstar teams do you see put together? And I think the interesting thing about comics in the last 10-ish, 15-ish years is that you see individual stars, the individual writers, the individual artists, but you don't see the all-star teams that have come together, except maybe by accident.
Yeah, I think I think it is accidental. It's lucky.
Yeah, it's accidental.
If you find that kind of stuff, because I think, one, everybody's sort of working for their own brand. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I think these guys have figured out, for the most part, that sure they're gonna write Batman or Spider-Man or whatever it is, but I'm working on my company myself. You know what I mean? Like this isn't gonna last forever, but I can build an audience that will last me forever.
Yeah, like Snyder Capullo.
Yeah.
In a way was kind of a, I don't want to say it was happenstance. I'm sure they were aware of it at the time, but you look at it now and it's like, it's Jason Aaron, and who are you going to, put together with Jason Aaron to, to write the next great Marvel comic or whatever. It's, it's interesting. And when it happens, it's magic. And sometimes, and we talk about, we had Andy Parks on, and there's been a couple artists that in the past that he said, I always wanted to ink this person, and we got together, and it's like, beforehand it was like, we know this is going to work great, and they got together, and it's like, wow, it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And so there's a little bit of magic that still has to happen.
Oh, sure. I think
in comics, and people, you don't know until it happens sometimes, and that's the beauty of it. We would talk to Christian Alame, and he said, and I'll never forget it. So whenever Doug Mankey and I got together, we had completely different artistic styles. And when I started inking Doug, there was this mystery third person in the room that between Doug's penciling style and my inking style, whenever you got the two of us together, it created this third thing that we never ever thought was gonna happen.
Sure.
And that's the magic of
collaboration. That's collaboration. I mean, I don't think it's just comics. I think you see it in in any creative thing, when you get around other creative people and you allow
music, filmmaking.
Yeah. It's you have to allow it to happen. You have to get rid of your ego, and you have to, I think you have to be willing to listen, and change and that kind of thing. And I think that's what fucks up so much of that stuff, is egos get involved and they get in the way of what could be something. Because everybody then like starts to count, well, what do I, how much am I worth to this, or how much is he, then it gets to be a weird thing, I think. But
I mean, that's the magic about, creative endeavors, is that when you watch something or read something or whatever, and you have the sense of, wow, this is special, or this is working, and there's just this magical something. And we've talked about, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's a moment in that movie where I'm just like, oh wow, I'm watching something special, or there's a comic where you're a few pages in and you're like, oh shit, this has created something, they're doing something that works. And I guess that's the dragon we're always chasing, right?
For sure, man. I'm always looking for something to blow my fucking hair back, and it's I don't know if it's rare, but I guess that's what makes it special. Is it's those things.
Pennyworth. Was, I was just like, oh,
this is really good.
Shit.
This is really
this has it.
Yeah,
this has it, and I'm gonna. And here's the thing: you blew through that. Marta is just like, no, I don't want to watch that until I'm ready to sit down and enjoy it.
Oh, I couldn't,
because
get enough
she
of it.
Doesn't want to blow through it, because she senses that it's something that's really good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess she just can't handle all that awesomeness at once. I'm used to it.
And now I have to wait for her, because if I watch it without her, then I'm an asshole.
Yeah, that's why I don't get too. My wife and I, we always pick like a show, because I'm gonna watch 10 shows by the time she finishes watching one show. And she likes a lot of stuff that I don't like, and I like a lot of stuff that she doesn't like. We always pick like one or two shows The Last OG. That was a show that we just were like, oh, let's try it, and we watched it and enjoyed it, and now we're
Do you
watching.
know what we watch every morning?
No, I'm not there.
Every morning.
Let me guess. Wait.
Every morning.
Ellen. You watch Ellen together every morning. Is it a? You watch? Is it a TV show? You watch? Is it live or is it a rerun? It's a rerun. Well, it's got to be a lot of episodes of something. Gilmore Girls? Is that it?
Earlier.
Earlier than that. The West Wing?
Earlier.
Andy Griffith?
Later.
MASH?
Just later.
Just later than MASH. Cheers?
About the same time.
As Cheers. Frasier. You were talking about Frasier.
We watch Murder, She Wrote every morning.
Oh, well, that's I mean, for what it is, they're fantastically produced episodes. I mean,
So Marta is a huge like PI detective fan. We watch Murder, She Wrote and a lot of Magnum PI.
Have you watched Stumptown yet?
Are you stoned?
No, well, just it's only CBD.
It's like the third time we've talked about Stumptown.
I know, but have you watched it? I don't remember if you've watched it or not.
Yes.
Okay. Does Marta watch it?
I love Stumptown. It's great.
Yeah.
You want me to talk to? Should we get Greg on?
If we can, sure, absolutely,
All
love
right.
to.
I don't know if he still
talks to us
or not, but I'm sure he's bored at this point.
Do you see my Los Pollos Hermanos?
Los Pollos. It's. Are those lost chickens?
Come on, you don't know what this is from?
No, what is that?
That's the restaurant from Breaking Bad. Los Pollos Hermanos, the Chicken Brothers.
Okay. Yeah, let's get in touch with Greg and we'll get him on and we'll talk about PI shows.
But my question was, does Marta watch Stumptown with you?
She likes it. She likes it. We have not gotten into it a ton.
Because that's that's a PI show. I really like it.
Here's the thing. It's like, I love Columbo. She hates Columbo.
So she likes more of a... Well, that's weird.
Don't try and figure it out.
Yeah, that's weird. How do you like Murder, She Wrote, but you don't like Columbo?
I didn't say I like Murder, She Wrote. I said that we watch Murder, She Wrote every day.
No, but she likes it then.
Yes. She loves Murder, She Wrote.
But she doesn't like Columbo.
Yet loves Charlie's Angels.
She likes women. She wants to watch women. She won't watch men.
Yeah, it's probably a women's empowerment.
Then she should like Stumptown. What the fuck?
Yeah.
God damn it, Marta, if you're listening.
She's not. I'll guarantee you she's not. All right, are we ready to wrap this thing up?
Probably. We've been going for a while.
Yeah.
Going for almost 2 hours now. It was a quick 2 hours. Pumping out 2 hours.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know when do you think...
What day is it?
Today is Thursday.
45.
Thursday. Did you get your government check? Did you get your stimulus check?
Yeah. You?
I did.
Did you?
I did. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Oh, look. I asked Marta. She's like, no, she's not going to fucking tell me.
She's just going to hide it, squirrel it away.
Oh, I'm not going to see one fucking red cent of that. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no money coming to Chris on that.
Alrighty. Anything else? Anything we want to?
No, it's everyone's stay safe out there. Don't be stupid. Take care of each other.
Love everybody. Get together. Da 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 la la la.
Don't be dumb.
Da da da.
Dumb.
People are dumb. It's just,
I know people are dumb, but check your sources.
who said it? A person is smart. People are dumb.
Oh, people are big, dumb, stupid morons. What is that from?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm dumb.
Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
Well,
Just stay where you are. Don't be dumb.
it's just old people that are going to die. Come on. We need to get rid of them anyway. They've been around too long. The boomers need to go. It's time for them to go. Their time on Earth is over.
I told you, this thing is killing all the wrong people. I'm horrible. Horrible person. All right. Take care of yourself and take care of someone else, and don't be dumb. And we'll be back probably a couple days because we're bored and need to talk to people.
Have nothing to
in the
do.
meantime,
In between time
we'll be everywhere in
and around the internet,
yeah,
YouTube, comics,
and stuff and
stuff like that.
let us know what your favorite Batman stories are.
Oh, that's a good one.
There you go.
What's your favorite single issue of a comic you've ever read?
Ooh, favorite single issue.
Why not?
It's good stuff. I like it. Air dance. Monkey pop.
Comics.
Nice.
There
You
go.
think the Zoom helped?